Hello and welcome back. Okay, so the problem we're having here is that Guy is unable to see a test that he clearly is supposed to see so that he can actually take that test. And we are also supposed to maybe have a notification here to show that there's a new test here that he's supposed to take. So let's see why we're having this problem. So this is tests controller. So let's see there what problem is happening. So clearly, if we go to profile, let me go to my profile here and let me go to my classes. You can clearly see that the general knowledge class is here. So it's recognizing that Guy belongs to this class, this one right here. So as a result, he's supposed to see the tests as well, but here it's supposed to only show the tests that he took, which is correct. But when we go to tests here, he's supposed to see that test from all the classes that he belongs to. So let's go to test.php because clearly that's where the problem is. So we're going to test.php. Now, this is only for admins, and clearly Guy is not an admin but a student, so it should be here that we have an issue. So tests query, why is there tests here and test right there? So these are issues we should contend with. I should remove this one because it's taking up resources. And let me look for wherever I'm using a single version and put S, but it doesn't seem like there's any. Oh, there is one here, so let me put an S there, then we should be good. Okay, so let's look at where the problem is. Now to start with, it should show me what classes this person belongs to. So just as we did with the other one, let me show this one here. Let's do this. So I will refresh to see how many classes. So there's 0 and there's 1. So clearly it does know that I belong to 2 classes. The first one is, where is the class name here? Wait a second, class ID, user ID, and the second one here. Okay, so there's a class ID there, that's okay. Where is the class ID? Here. Wait, what's happening? Okay, regardless, there are 2 classes here, which is good. So when we go here now, I think that's where the problem is. So we have this query. For now, let's ignore the search. We just need a, and then we merge with data. So what is data? Okay, data is that, and then we are looping through and merging. Okay, so that makes sense. Now select all from tests. Okay, this is our query where disabled class ID is equal to class ID. All right, so let's look at the queries that we are getting here one by one. So the first query is this one. Let's just echo out here what we have. So let me show query, because it seems these queries are the ones that, so the first one, the ones with a problem. So the first one, we are expecting a class ID with XRP from classes, and another one with oh, actually we are looking for tests in this case. So let's go to tests. So there's one with a class ID of this one and that one. So we should see all tests. Actually, this user should see, let me see here for a second. There's XRP. Yours will be different, of course, because the class IDs are random. And then TWT. So there's TWT XRP. So there should actually be 3 tests that this person should see. The first test, second test, and third test, because they belong to XRP class. Let me go to classes and see if that's true. Where is this? Oh, vibe. Oh, students, sorry. So guy belongs to 2 classes. All right, so that's how it should work here. But let's see what the queries say. So refresh. So selector from tests where disabled is equal to 0 and class ID is equal to class ID. Same thing here, disabled is equal to 0, and then the class ID is equal to the class ID. Let's just make sure that the class IDs are actually, both of them are showing here to, let me copy, no, I don't even need to copy this, let me refresh. So there are 2 different class IDs. And we are saying read from tests, right? Oops, I went to the wrong place. Selector from tests. So we are inside tests here, and we want to see one with this class ID, that class ID, and this class ID. So all 3 should actually show up, but are they disabled? So there's one that's disabled and the other one is disabled as well. Okay, so everything is actually working as it's supposed to. Sorry, this is my bad. I took you on this roller coaster, but it was all unnecessary because at the end of the day, we programmed it to only show non-disabled tests. So this is good news. It means everything is working as it should be. So what I should do is go back to lecturing and then activate my so go to tests, and I want to activate this one end of term. So I will publish it, then come back, log out, and then I'm going to go back as guy, and then let's go to password. So this is how it is. Sometimes you get confused over your own code and you think it's not working, but it's the rules that you had set up that are in effect. So as you can see now, I can see this end of term grade 7. This is nice, and it shows me how much of this test I have answered, which is practically none. So I can take this test if I want. So let me take this test, a second test. Haven't I taken this one already? Let me go back to profile tests. Okay, so it's my first test, not the second one. Okay, so back to tests and take this test. Okay, so a few errors here, which is cool. Now we get to fix a few things. Attempt to read property first name on Boolean. So attempt to read property user ID on Boolean. So if we can fix this, we should be able to fix the other one as well. So it seems it can't tell who the student is here. So this is take test, but then I think there's no user ID at the end here. That's where the problem is. So this shouldn't even show up here at all. So let me go to take test here. Actually, the thing is, we may not need that. We should get the user ID from whoever is logged in at the time. So no need to add that there. So let's look at where the problem is. So take test, click there on the controller, and let's look at 139. So let's go to 139 where the error starts, and that's right here. So it's telling me that it doesn't know what answered test row user ID. So get student information, right? So why is this even a thing at all? Let's go up here and see what we've got. Come back down here. So get student information. So normally data student user first. So it's getting from the first, and this is the user ID I'm supposed to get. So answered test row. Let's find out what this is. So answered test row, get answered tests. So since this user has not really answered any tests, this returns empty. Okay, so that's fine. But when we get the user information, we shouldn't get it from there, because we already know anyway, this answered test will contain the user ID of the logged in person here. So we can just copy that and use it here instead for times when this is unavailable. So let me paste that here. So that shouldn't be an issue at all. Refresh, and that solves the problem. So student guy dude, that's okay. And yeah, everything looks fine. So let's answer this question here. I'll answer this one as 4. John's favorite color, I don't know, green maybe. And here a cub. So let's save answers. Okay, so this has been answered 100%. This test has not yet been submitted. So submit test. Okay. Now, before we even submit the test here, let's make sure that the teacher can see it. Okay, so out here, let's go to vibe@yahoo.com and password. So we go to tests and we go to mark, and it's not here. So this is good news. Now what we need to do is submit it for marking and let the teacher mark. So let's log out and go back to being a guy at yahoo.com, and let's put our password, and let's go back to tests and take this test. So I've already answered this one. Very good. Let me submit the test. Are you sure you want to submit? Yes, of course. This test has been submitted, so I can't do any more for this test. Okay, very nice. Okay, so in the next video, let's look at the marking process of the teacher and make sure everything is smooth there as well.